Okay, here we go. You ready? 5, 4. Russos brand family. We are family.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Big Jack Hinkle, and welcome to episode 2 of my Lucha Underground review. I want to talk about Wednesday night's episode of Lucha Underground and give my opinion on the show. And to start off the show, it was a scene inside where Katrina goes up to Mil Muertes. And basically, Katrina has like such an ego, basically saying, I don't need you, I never loved you, and breaks up with Mil Muertes. Then all of a sudden, Katrina goes over and there's Melissa Santos coming in, and the fight is on between Melissa Santos and Katrina. And I tell you, it was a hell of a fight. I mean, they were fighting all over the place. It's like, there wasn't a cat fight. They were just scrapping and beating the shit out of each other. Pardon my language. And then there's like the part where they kicked each other and they were both down on the ground. Katrina had a nice chokehold on Melissa Santos. I mean, it was like a back and forth counter fight for fight. It was not in the ring, but it was like on top of the roof. And then, like, at the end, Katrina is hanging off the ledge. And then, all of a sudden, here comes Mil Muertes. And with the actual stone that got hit, it reminds him of the times that he was dragged out of the rubble when he was a kid, and just looks over at Katrina and says, here's something to remember me by. And Katrina falls down to her doom, falls down and dies splat on the ground. I mean, damn. That was good storytelling on the show. A lot of it's compelling where Melissa Santos gets revenge for Phoenix losing to Mil Muertes in that Grave Consequences match. And it was great storytelling. And then all of a sudden, here comes Aerostar. And Aerostar gets the power from Katrina. And then all of a sudden, you see Aerostar go back in time. I mean, it's like holy Back to the Future shit back now. I mean, Aerostar goes back in time, and Aerostar brings Phoenix back from the dead. And then they go back together. And then Aerostar and Phoenix are together. And here comes Melissa Santos and Phoenix reunited. I mean, damn. And they went to commercial break. I mean, I won't talk about like something else at the end of the show here. But coming back for commercial, Joey Wrestling versus Matanza Cueto. Sacrifice to the gods. I mean, when Antonio Cueto comes out, cuts that promo on Joey Wrestling, congratulations, it's yours latest, get your revenge and all that. That is compelling storytelling. It makes you want to watch Lucha Underground every week. All of a sudden, here comes Matanza after the sacrifice to the gods. Matanza comes in like a bat out of hell. And, damn. Joey put up a hell of a fight. Puts up a hell of a fight against Matanza. But at the end, Matanza sacrifices Joey Wrestling. It'll be interesting to see how the worldwide underground will go after Matanza and Papa Cueto. That's going to be interesting to watch. And then the next matchup, Killshot versus Big Bad Steve, which I thought was a little weak, in my opinion, but Killshot, Big Bad Steve, Killshot worked on Steve's leg a little bit several times, and then Big Bad Steve hit like the Death Valley Driver, this and that, whole 9 yards. But Killshot hits the kill stop and wins. And the Son of Havoc in the crowd eating popcorn with the Believers, and then Son of Havoc and Killshot go face to face after Killshot knocks out his popcorn, and they're just fighting the crowd. So that was good. And then the main event, it's supposed to have been Pentagon Jr. defending the Lucha Underground Championship against Johnny Mundo. But all of a sudden, Johnny Mundo not at the arena, inside the temple. It's going to be Pentagon versus somebody coming out the back, and it's going to be Hernandez. Supermax. I mean, you couldn't hear what Supermax was really saying on the microphone because his promo was like, But, you know, Pentagon Dark talking about, you know, you have the balls, come on down, you be my bitch. That was great. But at the end, just to make things short and sweet, Pentagon comes down and breaks the arm of Hernandez again. There was a lot of good counter wrestling, though, between the bigger guy and the smaller guy. And it was like what Matt Stryker and Vampiro were pointing out is that, you know, in wrestling, you know, it's like Land of the Giants. But with Lucha Libre, a good big man versus a good little man make a good match for anything, which they have a point. But to me, this is my thing. I would have thought that Pentagon Dark title reign would have been more like, it could have been 5 guys versus Pentagon. Pentagon goes over strong, but Hernandez is an accomplished Lucha Libre wrestler. I know his stint in TNA with LAX and the season back in the Temple was great, but you know, Pentagon broke his arm yet again. So that was the end of Lucha Underground from Wednesday. But this is my opinion. I would have thought the format for the show for that night would have been, you know, the first 2 the matches between Killshot and Big Back Steve, and then Pentagon versus Hernandez, and then the whole Melissa Santos Katrina fight. That would have been like the better way to close out the show than having Pentagon Dark get attacked by King Cuerno. I would have thought that would have been more of a closer to close out the show. But the part where King Cuerno declares his stake at the Lucha Underground title, that was good. But I would have thought the format would have been a lot more stronger than what it was on Wednesday. But overall, it was a great Wednesday night episode of Lucha Underground. I have it recorded on my DVR. So I'm going to rewatch it and just see that Katrina and Melissa Santos. No, shout out to Melissa and Carly Perez. That was compelling storytelling. How you can get rid of Katrina, the character, off the show. It was compelling. It was worth watching. It had more action than what the BS you see on Monday and Tuesday nights for 5 hours. I mean, 1 hour of Lucha Underground has more action, more compelling storytelling, more like a hook, more like a reason to tune in, and how they top each other's episodes. Like, how did they top the Wedding Crashers of Matanza destroying the wedding and destroying the Worldwide Underground? How could they top that? They top it with Melissa Santos getting revenge on Katrina. That's how you can tell stories, how you can have compelling television. You think Vince McMahon for 1 second is going to do that? Hell no. Vince McMahon is so way out of touch with reality that I personally think that Triple H and Stephanie and Linda McMahon are running WWE. Here's my theory. Vince McMahon being the Ronald Reagan of professional wrestling, to where he's lost touch. He doesn't know what's right from wrong, what's 2 + 2 = fish. That's the thing. But with Lucha Underground, you've got wrestling, you've got storytelling, you've got stuff that is different. And just the true injustice of all this is that they're on a smaller network, the El Rey network. But, the true believers are out in full force online. And I truly believe that if Lucha Underground doesn't come back for a season 5, then there's going to be some serious shit going on social media. But, again, just my take is that they could have formatted Wednesday's episode better, with the fight being at the end versus the beginning of the show. But overall, it was another great episode of Lucha Underground, and I give it about a solid 9. A solid 9.5 maybe a 10. You know what? Screw it. It'll be a 10 for me. This has been my latest episode of Lucha Underground Review here on Big Josh TV's Lucha Underground Review, only on Russo's Brand Family YouTube channel. My name is Big Josh Hinkle, and shout out to the lovely Miss Chantel Aaron, the crown jewel of Russo's Brand, for that great intro to this show. And also, real quick, if you're not signed up for Russo's Brand, $3.95 a month, great podcast from Getting Color with Vito LaGrasso, Bucket Full of Chicken Necks with the lovely Goldilocks, and then Ben Hameen, Stevie Richards for the Raw SmackDown Review, Castrating the Marks, the Cult Classic, and then Disco Inferno on Friday, and then bonus shows after that. It's the best deal in podcasting. $3.95 a month. Go to russosbrand.com. Sign up today. Join the family. And also twitch.tv/Vince Russo Live. Vince does a lot of Twitch. And go out there, watch some Twitch, and send some cheers to Vince Russo. Tell him Big Josh sent you on Twitch. I'll just say, everybody, thank you for the great feedback on episode 1. Let's continue with this great show, and coming soon after Lucha Underground goes off the air, I'm going to get the WWE Network, and I'm going to watch some old school wrestling with a podcast called When Wrestling Was Good. That's coming soon. Right after Lucha Underground season 4 ends, I will switch over to review some old school wrestling. So in the meantime, everybody, hope everybody out there have a nice day. That's a hot day in Pigeon Forge, so stay cool, stay hydrated, everybody, and I'll catch y'all on the Lucha flip side, everybody. Doses.